Hello and welcome to SHS Today. I'm Nate Magoon and today I'm here with Autumn Rose Bogdan. There's been lots going around the school the past few days, especially with the weather beginning to warm up. And the end of the school year is so close at hand.
That's right. We sent out some of our correspondents this week to report on what's coming up. Grecia and Brianna went on down to talk to some Woodbury students and some of our very own guidance counselors to learn about the 8th graders' upcoming move to Salem High.
I'm here today at Salem High School, but on Monday, me and my partner, Grecia Murillo, went on over to the Woodbury Middle School and got some interviews from some 8th graders on how they feel about coming into the high school. And we also got an interview with Mr. Brown on what they should expect.
I am excited to meet the new freshmen. I've actually had an opportunity to go over to Woodbury and meet with at least half of them to review the scheduling process and answer any questions that they have.
I think I would miss being here a little bit, but there's more opportunities at the high school, so that would be better there.
They seem to be well informed by the middle school counselors and a little anxious at the same time, but ask some really good questions. It's always a nice opportunity for me to get to see them and meet with them prior to them coming to the high school.
I'm excited but nervous because it's a new and it's a big step, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for high school and a little nervous too. But
I think it's going to be scary but exciting because we're going in with a bunch of older kids and newer kids, but yeah, excited.
While administration does a great job of making sure that they take everything into consideration in regards to noise and windows, sometimes it's hard looking out a window and seeing a building being demoed, but for the most part they do a very good job of making sure that it's a conducive learning environment for students.
One class that I'm looking forward to the most would be color guard because I'm joining that and taking that class that year.
I'm not sure that there's any class in particular, but I'm interested to see all the new opportunities that are open for me to try in high school.
I'm excited to watch these kids enjoy a brand new high school. It's I've actually benefited because our office was the first ones that were completed. So I'm in the new space now and I love it. And I just know that the new space for students is just fantastic. So many different opportunities for them, state of the art, equipment, and I think they'll really enjoy it.
I feel very thankful for it because now I know we have the whole technology center and I know that would be very beneficial for
I feel very blessed because we have a lot new technology and it will help our education.
My best advice to incoming freshmen is always get off to a good start. It's a little bit different than middle school in terms of the academic piece, but to get off to a good start means get into a good routine, figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and most importantly, utilize your resources.
entering a brand new high school I think is going to be really exciting and different because it's a big step from middle school to high school, but all the technology and different classes that we get to take is going to be really exciting.
And we do go in the classrooms early, Mrs. Fabrizio and myself, to talk to them about their resources and reiterate how important it is to get off to a good start their freshman year.
And we hope that the incoming 8th graders have a great 4 years of high school at SHS. Back to you in the studio.
Looks like the 8th graders have a lot ahead of them moving up to high school. Best of luck to them coming up to the high school. In other news this week, our correspondents Jeremy and Davin went out and found out more about the phenomenon of bottle flipping. Let's take a look.
We interviewed some students about the international bottle flipping crisis. Personally, I don't really like it, but we're going to interview a couple of students right now and see their opinions.
Bottle flipping, I think, is a skill and a talent, and some of the students that can do it are very talented. I've seen, some where they can do it across a room and get it up on a shelf. I'm not sure that I like it in school, however. The reason for that, in the cafeteria when they're flipping it, especially the Gatorade bottles, the caps are not very strong. When they hit the table on it, they break. We end up with Gatorade all over the tables, all over the floors, all over the chairs, and then nobody cleans it up afterwards. So we try to discourage it in the cafeteria mostly, and even in this beautiful space, when they flip here, then again we end up with water on the carpets, water on the chairs. So I don't like it in school, but I do know that it is an art for some.
I think bottle flipping is a new trend that people are taking to an extreme, which I really don't think should be. I mean, I think it's a fun thing to do, but people are taking it. They're bottle flipping all the time, and I feel like it's getting ridiculous now.
I don't like it one bit.
We asked many students if they are addicted to bottle flipping.
No, I am not addicted to bottle flipping.
Are you sure you're not addicted to bottle flipping?
I'm sure I'm not addicted to bottle flipping.
I'm addicted to cigarettes.
Yes, I can demonstrate for you.
It's not that I'm not good at it, but
Affecting this school, what I particularly don't like is how it's ending up in our new spaces on the window shelves. So we have the shelves above where it says Salem High School down by the athletic entrance, and people are throwing bottles and leaving them there. So it's basically become a garbage dump. And then the window in the PAC lobby, again, they're throwing bottles up there, and it looks like a trash dump. So I'm not sure why, when we have this brand new facility that the taxpayers have paid money for, and we've spent a lot of time making it, that students want it to look like it's a trash can. So I don't like it up in the windowsills and above things like that.
People are getting hurt, things are being damaged, and that's just a problem. Demonstrate a water bottle flip?
Yeah. Not only is bottle flipping a distraction, but as you can see here, it's also a safety hazard.
That's it.
Bottle flipping certainly has become popular not only in our school, but in schools all over the country. It makes you wonder what the next trend is going to be.
I'd have to agree. I don't know what the point is to bottle flipping, but it seems to be everywhere. In other news, my co-anchor Nate had the opportunity to catch up with our principal, Mrs. Collier, to find out more about her recent participation in the Boston Marathon. Let's take a look.
This week I got the opportunity to catch up with Ms. Collier about running in the Boston Marathon this past week.
It is probably physically the most challenging thing I ever do, but it is amazing crossing that finish line. I was running with somebody else from my team, and when you cross the finish line, we just both started crying and hugging, and it's an amazing experience. This was my 4th Boston Marathon, but my 6th overall marathon. I run for a Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. My nephew Patrick has type 1 diabetes, so this all started for him, and I've raised over $16,000 over the course of my marathons, but our team this year raised $150,000, so.
Wow, and it must have been pretty cool for you the past few days getting recognized on, I think it was Chronicle?
Yeah,
right, and everything?
Actually, Jamie Staten came here. My assistant, Mrs. O'Sullivan, called WMUR, and he came out and did the taping, which was awesome. And it was fun because he ran, too. He ran for Special Olympics, New Hampshire, so he knows what it takes to run a marathon.
So what would you say to anyone who was considering doing the run themselves next year?
I would say do it. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. It's hard work, lots of training, but if you do the training and you have the will, then you'll do it.
Special thanks to Ms. Collier for speaking with us for a few minutes, and congratulations on raising all those funds for her charity. It sounds like a lot of hard work for everything that she does, that I think I'm going to start training for next year's Boston Marathon. Back to you in the studio.
Congratulations to Mrs. Collier in completing the Boston Marathon and supporting her charity. Mrs. Collier is a great example of what having Salem pride is all about. Well, as you know, spring is here and things are beginning to warm up. Spring doesn't only mean flowers and sunshine, but it also means baseball. This week, our correspondents Dan and Angus caught up with the baseball team with the upcoming season. Let's take a look.
For this week's Team of the Week, I interviewed the baseball team. I sat down with Coach Dan Kelleher to get his thoughts on the season. The baseball team won their first game of the season against Manchester Memorial by a score of 4-1. I also interviewed players after their win against Nashua North. Let's take a look.
Well, we're off to a good start, 2-0. Christian Harris and Andrew Shumsky posted 2 wins for the team as far as pitching goes. That first game we didn't hit very well, but we improved in the North game with that. And that was something that people around the state thought that we were going to be a rather weak hitting team. But it was only 2 games. I knew we were going to be pretty good at pitching and defense, and that has showed up in the first 2 games.
Yeah, we played pretty good. Our pitcher, Andrew Shumsky, threw a shutout, which was awesome. Pitched all 7. The bats came alive in the end, which was good, and we should be seeing a lot more of that towards the end of the season and towards the middle.
We don't really have to improve on much. We've been proving everyone wrong right now. We're doing what we knew we could do.
Well, pitching, we knew we have a depth in pitching. We got a lot of people that we can throw out in the mound. Fielding was kind of a mystery, but we've been doing well. First game was on turf. Second game was on our field, which our field is not really settled in as far as ready to play. But we're certainly used to how it plays. And, you know, we're doing pretty well offensively, you know, but that's one thing we always work on in practice, is trying to get better offensively.
We definitely got some good players up our sleeves. Soldano's throws real hard. We got my brother broke his leg. He'll be back in the lineup hopefully pretty soon. And just some other guys need to come up and do some good stuff. We definitely lost some core guys, but we got a good group of kids right now, and we fell a little bit short to BG, but I mean, we play them 2 more times, 3 more times. I think we like the outcome. So,
what impact players can we look forward to seeing this season?
The 3 captains, Christian Harris, Ben Emerson, Dave Robertson, and Matt Saldana are all returners from last year. You know, and they certainly settled in the first 2 games and been pretty good contributors. There's a lot of good potential out there, and with the addition of Andrew Shumsky, who's not a newcomer, he was up time to time last year, but he had his first start on the mound against North and did outstanding. So that's going to be a plus for us. As far as this year, you know, anybody can really make a run. The playoffs are different this year, though, because it's back to top 12 teams make it. So you're not going to see a 15 seed in the tournament. Top 4 teams get a bye. So I think that's something to strive for, is working to get into that top 4.
Well, I think we can definitely compete with them. They're tough teams. But we're definitely just as good, if not better.
Well, not just us. All the other teams had a chance to not relax, but they could have a below 500 record, knowing that they had an ace that they could get into the second round. So I think this puts a little more pressure on you to win games in a regular season that you ordinarily maybe wouldn't have tried to win, or not tried, but you know, puts more pressure on teams to win the games in the regular season, which is good.
What do you think the team has in potential for a playoff run this year?
All the way.
The baseball team is off to a great start here for the 2017 spring season. Though they may be 2-0, they do have some tough matchups coming up against defending state champs Bedford and last year's number 2 seed Exeter. All of us here at SHS Today do wish them the best of luck. For my cameraman Angus, back to you guys in the studio.
Best of luck to our baseball teams in their upcoming season. We'd also like to wish good luck to some of our students as they prepare to compete in the SkillsUSA National Championships. 4 of our own Salem students, including myself, have qualified to go to competition in Louisville, Kentucky. For more on this, we turn to Kayo Leone and my co-anchor, Autumn Rose Bogdan, as they give us more information on this subject.
I'm here outside the CTE wing of Salem High, where a few selected students will be participating in the SkillsUSA competition in Louisville, Kentucky.
I never competed in SkillsUSA in my old school, and so this is actually the furthest I've ever gone with students, and my students have ever gone, and I'm really excited as a first-time participant in SkillsUSA. I'd heard a lot about it. You hear about it all the time. I heard a lot of fellow teachers in Massachusetts were sending students to have competitions or compete in SkillsUSA. And so I really didn't even know what to expect. And I love so far that our students are going to nationals, and I'm in my first year ever doing SkillsUSA. Really excited for them. So there is a cap on how many teams we can have compete in the state competition, and I think we probably had room for maybe 1 or 2 more teams. What we had was 2 teams of 2 in the television broadcasting, and then there was 1 team of 4 in the broadcast journalism segment, and I think we could have had another team. So yeah, I would always encourage and hope that more teams would compete. So I would always hope that there would be more kids interested in competing. I think what my boss, my director, Mr. Dodge, said that would be a good idea is if I ran a little in-house competition. So if I ran a little competition in class for the project, so next year, say you compete as teams in class, and I picked the best PSA commercial, and then that team would compete in the States. But having 3 teams medal in my first year was awesome. I was so psyched when I found out that day that 3 of the teams medaled, and then having 1 team go to nationals, which I'm actually going. I'm going to go to Louisville, Kentucky with that team.
I mean, I'm a little bit nervous because we have to go down to Kentucky and everything and compete in the national championship for SkillsUSA, so we're going to be down there with like a lot of people from all over the country. So that's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm more so excited to go down to Kentucky and meet a bunch of people and compete for our school.
It doesn't make me nervous because he's one of my friends. I've known him for a while now, and so I'm confident with him. Like I'm not afraid to put out my ideas with him.
Nate and Grecia, and watch them compete. Really watch, because when you're down there as the instructor, I can't help them. They have to do completely everything on their own. So that's nerve-wracking. I have to prepare them. I was just talking to them this morning about doing a practice competition here, practice project, so they're ready. But I think they're ready. Their video was amazing. They did a fantastic job on it. Generally speaking, I couldn't be more proud of their efforts and what they're doing, and representing Salem High School in the national competition for SkillsUSA. I think it's awesome. So I wasn't surprised that the kids made it that far. I know that we have a lot of talent in this class, in all these classes. We have other competitions we're competing in, so I wasn't surprised at all to hear that they medaled in the state, and I think that they can do really, really well in the nationals, and I think that they have a chance to earn a medal.
Well, from what they've said, they sound pretty confident, and we all wish you the best of luck for the SkillsUSA competition in Louisville, Kentucky. Back to you in the studio.
Well, that's all the information we have for you today, Salem High School. We'd like to thank you for tuning in, and here at SHS Today, we wish you a happy and safe April vacation. For my co-anchor, Autumn Rose Bogdan, I'm Nate Magoon. We'll see you next time.